Hi everyone, welcome to the Living Room channel. This is Siobhan here. Today, I would like to honor all mothers out there. I think that we are not really giving them the honor they deserve sometimes, and at, we feel like it's easier on Mother's Day to send them a card or send them to a cake or something just to celebrate them on that day. But I feel that mothers should be celebrated every day of our lives because they're so important to us. They brought us into the world. They've been our source of moral support. They, I think some of the mothers have actually put themselves ahead of even their children. Like there's so many sacrifices a mother has to make, for the sake of their children. We've seen working mothers who prioritize their work as well as their children. We see stay-at-home mothers who actually give up their careers and their passion to take care of their children at home. So really want to honor all mothers out there, and also want to give a special shout out to my mom who's probably watching this right now. I've never had time to say that I love her as much, but I just want to just take this opportunity to just say that, she's really, really precious to me. And I think she made me into a better person. And who I am right now is really based on what I've seen her do, how I've seen her talk and interact with the people. She may not know it herself, but I think she is really a person who has so much to share. She has so much of love for people. And I just want to just wish her a happy Mother's Day. And I just want to say that, I really, really love her, and she means the world to me. So on this special Mother's Day, we not only want to honor mothers who actually have a whole family, but we also want to honor mothers who are, raising their child single-handedly, young mothers, who also face a stigma in the world of, having children at a very young age and trying to raise them up. I think they really, really need our moral support because what they are doing is so honorable, because not everyone can actually do that when, to be looked upon by society as, a person who's not, who's done a mistake, but, really proudly in taking that in stride and taking care of your child as well. So on that note, I've actually invited a guest for today to actually celebrate her as a mom. And I've seen what she has done for her son, and I think she does an amazing job. And, she might not be celebrated by the people around her, but I think that, I just want to take the opportunity to not only celebrate her as a mother, but celebrate her as a woman who has actually been, she might be through a lot, but someone who is still able to face the world with a smile on her face and not give up at all. So jump into the episode right now, guys, and I do hope that you'll be encouraged by all the stories from all these amazing women that we are airing every week. And I just hope that you would like, subscribe, and share these videos with your circle of friends. And I do hope that it will empower more women to step out, to be bold, and to kind of just move on to what they have passionate about and be a change maker. So enjoy the episode, guys. Bye. Hi viewers, welcome to the Living Room channel, Mother's Day special. Today I have a beautiful guest called Shirley with me. Shirley, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. How are you too?
I'm doing great. I love Shirley's new hair color. She's always got all these new colors. How has staying been home for you?
It's actually quite good. I get to spend more time at home. Yeah, actually.
Have you been doing a lot of cooking?
Yes, I do every day.
For being on this show, and just wanted to maybe you want to introduce yourself to the viewers.
Hi, my name is Shirley. I am a single mom. I have a son that is turning 17 this year.
Wow.
So, yeah.
She looks 17 herself. Can't imagine that she's a single mom of a teenager. Happy Mother's Day to you as well in advance.
Thank you.
Just ask you, how has your journey been like as a single mother?
I have to admit that it's not easy, but I pull through. So now that my son is also quite big, he's quite sensible, and thank God that he don't give me too much trouble. So I think it's pretty okay lah.
Did you have a support during the time? Did you have any support as in friends or family?
Okay, I do have my close friend.
Mm.
When I needed them, they would be there for me to actually help me to take care of my son when I'm
Mm.
working and all.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the time, I'm really, really very grateful for these few good friends that they are there for me lah when I needed them. Some of the times, my son is quite independent,
Mm-hmm.
so he's able to do a lot of stuff by himself. So and he listens lah, so he's not so naughty and all. So like at least he's still I'm still able to handle him.
Mm. But was the decision tough? Because now when women, right, they feel that they put their self first. So sometimes having a child like takes away a lot of their time from the interest, especially like you yourself are being young, and there must be so many things that you want to do. So did you ever feel that did you ever regret the decision?
Actually, to be honest, I'm really very grateful. I feel very blessed to have my son.
Mm.
That because like I don't know how to say, like, yes, when I'm young, I have to actually give you have to sacrifice a lot of things,
Mm.
but at the end of the day, you see that he's doing well, and he's going well, and I'm still able to do things that I want to do, you see. So it's not that when you have a child and all, that you're not able to do things that you want, certain things that you can't do and all, but at the end of the day, you are still able to find some time to do what you want to do.
But you didn't feel like it's taken aback to whatever that you wanted to do in your life.
Um, Maybe there is, like, certain things, like example job.
Mm.
Maybe certain jobs that I so want to try, but I have this fear that what if I try and then it didn't work out, then I'll
Mm.
have burden, you see, because I have commitment, so I have to take care of my child, I have to take care of my house, bills to pay, and all. So that was one of the part that for me, I feel that I don't have the courage to try lah. So
Mm.
I'll just do what I can to live, something like that.
But that's a real fear, because I think a lot of people, right, because when they have commitments, there's so many things that stop them from trying out new things. Because I think
Mm.
it's more comfortable to be at a place where you think it's reliable and you know that the paycheck comes in
Mm.
monthly without fail, so you don't have to worry about that. But I think one of the things that I really like about you, right? I mean, I've known you for a very short period of time. I like the fact that you never hide things. I think it's really it's very strong of you to come out and share when people, right, hide such things. They feel so uncomfortable about sharing something like that. But for you to be so brave to share that, right, I think it's a form of encouragement to many women out there who feel like when they have this, right, they feel it's a social stigma. They feel like how would people see them, like how would society
Mm.
view them. Although it's like everybody is educated now, things have changed, but there is still
Mm.
some stigma. Like people will ask you questions like, oh, how come you're a single mother? I mean,
Yeah.
when you face that, right, how do you counter that?
Okay, initially, maybe when I was younger, when people start to question, like, why you are a single mom and all, I will definitely, I will just like it's a bit difficult for me to actually explain to them why and all and all. But as time goes by, to me, I feel that it's like I'll just say it straight. They will say, "Hey, how old is your son?" Then I'll say, "Oh, okay, now he's 17." Then they will, like when they are when I say they are 17, and then they look at me like that, and then they will, their mind, they will start to like, this one,
Yeah.
must be something lah. So I will very straightforward say, yeah, I shocked one. I mean, it is the truth lah. I mean, like, sometimes things that you do, I'm not saying I'm proud of it or anything, but I mean, like, that is what I did when I was younger. So obviously you have to go through life, right? You still have to move on with your life and all. So doesn't mean that that you have this one side back, then you sort of like you start to judge yourself and question yourself, this and that. When people look at me differently and all, people do look at me differently. Sometimes they will judge me as in like, wow, like, this girl like that, you look at me like that, literally like that.
Yeah.
Like with colored hair, with tattoo, and like, especially when people, sometimes they say that I'm a Christian. That's the another thing. Wow, you Christian? Wow, you tattoo, you dye your hair like that, you still you are you still got a child yourself and all that kind of thing. So as time goes by, it didn't really bother me anymore. People can say what they want and all, so it doesn't matter lah, so long as I'm able to take care of my child and all, so it really doesn't matter to me. So to me, I feel that people don't need to really matter on what people say and all lah. Just take it as like, okay lah, they say, then you just let it be. Don't really take it too hard what they actually say, because so long as you are really doing what you can do and all for your child and all, I think it's good enough.
Yeah, and I think it's very brave, because I think when you do a mistake, right, sometimes people are so afraid to face the consequences. That's why there's also the rise of abortion. Like people think that that's an easy way out, and that's not. It's the fastest solution. But I think it's accepting the fact that you have made a mistake, and you know what, I'm going to bear through the consequences of it. And I think that experience itself, right, would have made you a stronger woman and a better mom as you as you adapt to the role. And I also like the fact, right, that how you identify yourself, like you're a Christian, and that but that doesn't define who you are just because you have tattoos or just because you have colored hair, right? That's you as a person. It's the same as how I like to wear makeup.
Yeah, but right, people when they look at you, that is the thing they question. The one look at you, they will think that this one can be a mother man, that kind of thing. Yeah, but doesn't mean you color your hair, you tattoo your back, right? I mean, like, you don't judge people like that, nah.
Yeah, and I think that's why people like women like you need to come out and share, because it's not easy. And I think sometimes when people don't have a strong community, right, they find that it's so hard, right, to they face this challenge, they get this guilty conscience every day, this shame also every day. I remembered, I think a few years ago, I met a single mom. She was a very young person. I think she was about in her 20s. So she came to me, and they sell these things, right? Like the single moms, they sell all these trinkets. So she was selling that to me, and she said she was a single mom. And I looked at her. I didn't question her, but she was so embarrassed by the fact. She looked down and she told me, "I know how you see me," and I think it's a real it's a real thing for a lot of women. And I think for you to say that, it doesn't matter to me because it's not who you are. People can talk, but at the same time, right, it doesn't make you a better, a worse mom. It really makes you a good mom. And it can be seen by how you have brought up your son.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I've not really seen her son personally, but I've seen her son in pictures, and I think she's done a very, very good job.
Thank God. Okay, to be honest, without God is really difficult for me. So it's really thank God.
Yeah, thank God. I think really thank God for second chances, because that shows that when we make a mistake, right, we can always learn from our mistakes. We can help to tell others how our mistakes have, changed us. And I do believe that for you, right, Shirley, like, all this experience, right, will never go to waste because some of these things that you learn in your journey, right, to be strong, to be brave, to be really patient, all this resilience, right, I think you would never have developed that um,
Yeah,
without being a mother.
true. True. This one I really also admit because I
Mm,
really feel that if without my son, I might not even grow
mm,
to be more mature and all. But because I have him, I feel that one part is I have a commitment, and then I need to take care of my child and all. Cannot be like that. I have him, then I start to grow well also.
mm. And how have you like when you have your down moments, right? When I mean there are sometimes we are our worst critics. We can people can look at you and say, Shirley, you've brought your son up well, you've done well, but sometimes we as a woman we criticize ourselves when we make small
Mm,
mistakes.
mm.
We think that we have failed. When you encounter that kind of failure, right? What do you do to come back to your feet?
Everybody will have some down point where they do not feel that they have done enough and all. Sometimes to be honest, I always tell my son, I'm not a very good mom. I always say, you see, because the thing is that I still like to play and all. For me, I always feel that communication is very important. So me and my son, we always communicate a lot because to me, this is very, very important. Even that's how we are able to talk till now, you see.
Mm,
Till now, we are able to communicate and then like talk anything lah. He will tell me
mm,
his stuff, I'll just tell him my stuff, that kind of thing.
mm,
So to me, I feel that when times are, sometimes I do feel that I'm not a good mom. I will
mm-hmm.
start to question that, how come, like example one, okay, one thing that I noticed that a lot of mom, they are able to wake up early to make
Yeah.
breakfast for their child.
Yes.
But I'm the kind that I can't, man. I'm like, I can't wake up that early in the morning to prepare breakfast for my son. That's
Mm-hmm.
one thing I always feel that I can't do. So sometimes I will start to question myself and think that, I'm not good enough, that kind of thing. I was still like sort of like pull through lah after that.
Mm-hmm. But I think that's not for everyone, no, because
I don't know, man. I'm like I feel that a lot of them like they are able to do it, but
mm.
only this I can't do it.
But it's okay. It's not even a flaw. It's not even a flaw. I mean, I think breakfast is fine. As a teenager, he probably can get his own cereal before he goes to school.
Yeah, but when he was younger, I'm also like that,
So when you feel like that way, right? Is there something that you like to read or you like to listen that that kind of encourages and perks you up?
When normally I will watch drama. I
I
love
know
to
you
watch
love
drama.
drama. What are you
I
watching right now?
love now every day watch until all my Korean drama also hilang already lah. I already watch until now
Nothing
become
else
watch
to watch.
Taiwanese. Now watching Taiwanese criminal show,
Mm,
some CSI show. I'm the kind that I can literally whole day lah, watch drama.
mhm,
So to me, I feel that watching drama this makes me very relaxing, forget everything. The kind I like.
mm. Because we live through those kind of dramas, but sometimes now, especially with the COVID situation, you cannot go out anywhere. So you watch dramas and then you see like, oh, it's nice to go to that place and what it would be like if we have an adventure. Yeah, so sometimes drama is a good way to escape reality. But talking about that, right? But that's like a fantasy world. But if in reality, there must be something that you live by, like a code or a verse that just sticks to you whenever you feel like down.
Yes.
Mm.
My
No,
favorite verse
yes.
is Jeremiah 29 verses 11. I got bad memory. I cannot remember the verse.
But you can remember the verse name. Okay, that's good. For I
That
know the plans
verses?
that I have for you.
Yes.
That's a good one. That's a
Friend.
good one.
Yes.
Plans to prosper you and to give you hope. I'm just declaring it
This
over
is
you now, Shirley, like in everyone watching it. Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Yeah. So it's
Yes.
really great, and it's really good words to live by, to
Mm.
especially in that situation when you know that things might not work out, things might not go as you plan, but it's something to hold on so strongly that what, I have a plan, I have a purpose, and things will go right, things will just work out for me in my favor. Wow, that's really
Yes.
amazing. That's so
I
amazing. Thanks
always
so much
feel
for
that
sharing.
yeah, I always feel that there is a reason things always happen.
Mm,
So like God will be always there for us, even
mm,
if it's bad times, good times, especially when people who faces the bad times,
mm,
everybody do lah. Then we'll start to question here and there. But I always feel that all these bad times is the times that make us stronger, to
mm,
build us where we are, so that we can actually overcome all these hard times.
mm. I think it's so true. Even now, with what's happening when people are staying at home all the time, right? Even for
Mm.
myself, I always I have always appointments. I'm always out. But these are the months that I spend time at home, really at home with family, really
Mm.
taking time to do what I like, and also I feel like this is also the time where not only myself, people are challenged to put their trust in not things that can be easily shaken, because we put our trust on jobs as security, on finances, on insurance, all these things that now we know for a fact that when things like this happen, right, these things can be shaken, it can be gone already. Like
Yeah.
it will not be there forever. Yeah. So where
Mm.
are we actually placing our hope and our trust in? Yeah. So good. And what advice do you have? Like, if you see, if you have, especially for young girls, I think for, I've heard cases of many young girls who face the fear. They might want to, if they are pregnant, they want to keep the child, but they have the fear of what society would say, what family would say. So, what advice would you give young girls like that?
I think that people always judge. Till
Mm,
now, people still judge. So I just feel that sometimes you will just feel the people who are judging you lah. But the thing is that don't let all this affect you.
mm,
Just do what you're supposed to do. If people want to talk about you, younger, being pregnant and all this kind of thing, why you want to bother of them, talking to you, talking about you, all this kind of thing for? So long as you try your very best, take care of your child, I think you are doing fine already. Don't need to bother like people looking down at you, being embarrassed that you have a
mm,
child and then you are alone and all this kind of thing. Sooner or later, you will be stronger than them.
mm.
So I feel that you just have to do your best and don't let these people just look down on you and judge you.
And what would you encourage them to do? Like, this is your advice, right? What as they're going through this period, right? What would you encourage them to do?
Pray. Because I pray. I must tell you, pray.
Yeah. And did you?
Jalan. No lah, correct lah.
So you did that every day, is it?
Okay lah, I read every day the Bible verse, but I never read into in depth. But every day I do read the Bible verse. So this really helps everybody right now. I believe so lah, because
Mm,
I got friends they will also read Bible verse. I got friends like you and all
mm,
sharing Bible verse to us and all. So
mm,
it really helps you when times are down and in need. This is the best,
mm.
the word of the
So
Lord.
true. So true. So rich, right? Like, all the things, right? Like, even for me, it's very surprising, because before you even said that verse, I was as I was preparing for this interview, right? And I was just thinking about what I'm doing, the platform and all that, and I was just also meditating on this verse, and I was just saying, what, there's a plan, there's always a purpose, and really it's so true, like, it's so, the more you keep on repeating to yourself, the more it gives you that strength, that inner strength to say, you know what, it's going to be okay. It's okay to go on. And I just
Yes.
love this whole segment. I'm just so happy to have you, Shirley, to share, so openly about, all these things. So so cute. And yes, so like coming to the end of the segment, right? So is there any takeaways that you would like to leave behind the viewers?
Do your best.
Or do
Let
your
God
best?
do the rest.
Wow. Okay. I just love it. I really love it. And I think, Shirley, I think this is really to show how you have survived this. I tell you, I look at you and I see that joy on your face, right? I I can tell you that I might have seen mothers who have, a complete family, right, and not be able to have that because they have so burdened by stress, by all these anxieties about like what you say, not waking up early in the morning to prepare breakfast, and they get so worn down, so tired. But for you to not have that complete family, but to have that joy, to have that peace, and to have that happiness, and to also still do your job as an employee, and also do your part as a mom to your son. I think that's so amazing. I am, I don't know whether even I will be able to do that if I've been in your shoes, but I'm just so inspired by
Can.
your bravery, by your strong courage. Yeah. So I just want to thank you for just being on this show. Thank you for really sharing your heart out to the viewers out there.
My pleasure.
Yeah. And thank you, viewers, for actually watching this show. And really want to shout out to all the mothers out there. And we appreciate you, we love you, and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Bye.